Hello everyone, welcome back to another track ride video. This week will be at Interlagos, or how it's called in rFactor, Sao Paulo. Next week's LFM. And today we are in the Porsche 911 RSR, the same car I'll be driving for the Le Mans Virtual Series. Got the same skin as well, I can't wait to show you guys, I think it looks really cool. Holding up towards the end of the lap here. We've got race fuel in, we're running on softs, that means we would have to be careful in the actual race. Factor here, towards the end of the lap. I really appreciate all the nice feedback we had on the previous videos, so coming. Running to the last corner here. Cow. Want to get good exit from there, meaning that we want to square the corner up, slow an entry. Fire the car for an exit. Got the big run up the hill here. Into turn 1. And on this track you will want to stay off the curbs where you can because they're quite slippery. Running to turn 1, we don't want to go all the way to the right side, it's quite slippery there as well. The 50 mark is a brake reference. Try to square turn 1 up so that turn 2 is almost flat. Flat if you can, maybe if there's a bit more grip. Car fire up, turn 3 should be easy flat. And now we're going to overtake the opportunity here. We're going to be looking at the access hold on the right. That, third gear, keep the speed up here. Again, not too much of the inside curve, it's too slippery. Just slide you off again. Look for the last panel here as a reference to get the car to turn in. Slowly down the gears, otherwise the rear wants to start to step out. Once the left side here. Again, you don't want to use all of the curb here like you do in some other sims. Hug the inside of the curb here, the white line on the inside. I'll square it up. This one. Don't run too wide. This one should be easy flat. Then got to run last corner. Again, the outside there is very slippery. So if you want to use that, you have to sacrifice quite a lot of speed for slightly better entry. It should give you a bit of extra exit speed. This time I decided to not choose it. Run up the hill to the inside of the corner lap, and that's a lap around Interlagos and after. 30.1 we did on this particular lap. The lap times again, they will drop quite a bit once your tires degrade. It's important to not overuse the tires and over push too much and limit those slides at the start of your stint to really be good towards the end of it. Anyways, let's have a look at how the lap looks like from the outside, and I'll show you the skin as well. So here we are at the start of the lap from the outside cam. We'll have a closer look at the lap time or the whole lap from the outside. Run into turn 1. And you can use this extra road on the right here, but it's a bit easier to lock up there. It'll depend a bit where the rubber's down in the session itself, what the best line is. For now, when there's no rubber on the outside, I decided to keep my tires on the track surface. Look for the 50 mark at the brake. And turn 1's always tricky at Interlagos because we can't brake in a straight line for very long. Track starts to bend to the left, that means we have to start turning, that means we have to come off the brakes. Want to make it slowly towards the inside, I'll show the braking input as well. And the more we're turning, the more we have to come off the brakes. And then we want to get the car rotated on this inside curb here. And the reason for that, even though the curb's quite slippery, is that we want to have turn 2 as flat out as possible to have fast run out of 3, fast run onto the straight to 4. We have to prepare that all the way in turn 1 here and keep our car tight on the exit. Keep it tight enough. Turn 2 can be almost flat, maybe with a bit more rubber it's completely flat. Turn 3 should be easy flat then. And then we got to run up to turn 4 and we're going to be looking at the right access road. There's an access road here around the 50. I find it much easier to use the end of this access road as a break point than it is to use the 50 marker here. The 100 marker here behind the fence as well is really hard to spot. Again, we're not going to use that. We use this access road here. Then we're going to use this road to start braking. Down to third gear. Don't use too much of this inside curb, because you use too much. Curb is slippery, the car is just going to slide off with it. The inside. Don't run too wide in the exit here, we'll give you an off track calculation. So run to 5.6. And what we want to use here is the last board. You can also use a 50 marker, but it's quite far away from where I want to be looking. This board can be collected off. If someone goes straight here, the board's gone. And then you'll be left with another reference marker if you use it. So use it at your own risk. This is the board I use. You can also use the 50, but it's quite far from the left here. I find it quite hard when I'm looking at the apex to spot this as reference in my peripheral vision. Towards the outside cam here. Use this as a reference point, get it towards the inside, and again we shift down. 4th gear, 3rd gear, but don't shift down too quick. Shift down too quick, the weight will shift towards the front too fast. The rear will have too much engine braking and start to feel too loose in this corner. Try to keep the speed up through the corner. The exit speed's not that important, and I try to brake not too much on this outside curb here. Again, there can be a lot more rubber laid down. I'm using the heavy preset doing this track guide. For me, it was too slippery on the curb. I brake on the edge of it. Brake towards the inside. There's another sim here where you can run all the way up to the grass on the inside, and somehow you have just as much grip as there is rubber on the track. This sim, it's a bit more realistic than that. Can't really do that. So we have to not use too much of the curb, or we're gonna slide off towards the track again. And then a similar thing here, we want to follow the inside white line here where the most grip is. If you use the curb, the car is gonna slide off that and understeer off it. Got to be in throttle early here to get a good run up the hill. The next hairpin, again, it's a curve into the corner, meaning we can't brake much in a straight line. I don't really have a braking reference here. This will change a lot depending on how much grip you have in the stint. You'll have to start braking a lot earlier once the grip goes down in your tires. Just brake as much as possible in a straight line. Again, don't drag the brakes too much on rFactor. Get the car rolling towards the apex and slowly back on the power. Make sure to not light the rears up. If you light the rears up out of this corner, you're gonna have a bad time in your stint. And it's just gonna get worse and worse the rear grip you have. Left hander, again you follow the inside white line, not too much on the curb, should be easy flat. And then on the exit here as well, there is this runoff that in some other sims has just as much grip as a racing surface. In here, unfortunately not the case. So you can use this, open up the last corner, but it will be very, very slippery. What I've done here is try to brake as much as I can on the racing surface, giving me that extra bit of grip. Get the car lined up for the next corner. Get the car pointed towards the inside. And just like we did at Zandvoort in the last corner, get the car pointed towards the exit. Slow an entry. And then slam the throttle and just brake up the hill as we can. Because this is a really long straight and it's going uphill. So anything that's important of the last corner is your exit. And we got the whole long run up the line. rFactor does allow you to use this inside here over the white line. Close to the wall. And we've done a lap around Interlagos and rFactor. Hope you guys enjoyed the lap guide. Let me know in the comments below what you want to see for next week. Not just which kind of series on LFM, but also which cars you want to see there. Do you want to maybe see an Orica lap as well? I don't have the most experience in the updated Orica, but we can have a look at that as well. Maybe you want to see BTCC, maybe you want to see the Nordschleife. Let me know in the comments. As always, if you liked the video, make sure to thumbs up and subscribe. And see you guys for the next ones. Ciao.